Console Watch 2020. We'll bring on the experts to discuss and analyze all the latest developments around these new consoles. From frame rates, services, features, peripherals, and even all the new tech jargon, Next Gen Console Watch 2020 will keep you up to speed on everything leading up to the next generation of gaming. Join us every Friday for a new episode. Not only is IGN the world's biggest media brand for games and entertainment, but we also have a team of some of the world's biggest fans of your favorite franchises. From breaking news and exclusives, never-before-seen looks at movies and games, to reviews, let's plays, and live streams, IGN brings you all the coverage you need, no matter where you are. Whether you're on IGN.com, the IGN app, YouTube, Facebook, or Snapchat, we've always got you covered. IGN, the #1 source for all games and entertainment fans worldwide.
If you're not following IGN on social media, what are you waiting for? We're constantly updating our feeds to bring you the latest news, gameplay, custom original content, the best user-generated videos and art, memes, and a whole lot more. Be part of the conversation throughout the year. Follow IGN on Instagram, Twitter, Facebook, TikTok, and Snapchat.
Summer of gaming. We're getting ever so close to EA Play, so hang in there because we're just moments away. But first, it seems like we've got our first real important preview of what's going to happen on the Xbox Series X hardware and the PlayStation 5. What am I talking about, you might ask? Startup sounds. That's where it all begins on these consoles, right? Everybody wants to know when you're waiting to hear about that new console, the first question that you always ask, what is the startup sound going to be? Well, fortunately for us, we know now what those startup sounds are going to be for both consoles. Yesterday, Twitter actually introduced a brand new functionality, their new voice clip function, and Xbox took to Twitter to put out their startup sound. And I think that we're going to be able to do a little playback here. I want to make sure that our tech team is ready backstage, but I want to make sure that the panel here can hear this Xbox startup sound. So let's get ready to listen in on that if we won't. And I know it's coming. I know. Here we go. Mm-hmm. Yes.
Yeah. Damn.
Good. This seems like maybe it's the Xbox trailer.
I believe this is the 4K reveal trailer.
Mm-hmm.
And the sound of silence eerily
Woo!
blowing through the virtual studio.
It's a sexy sound, though.
We bring it.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
And then also PlayStation actually, they snuck their startup sound into the PlayStation 5 reveal event last week. It was brief, but you could see the startup sound and the first look at the console UI. So let's go ahead and take a listen to that startup sound and see what that was all about.
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
Okay, so I got a question for the panel. Obviously, it's a very important question I want to start us off with here. Did anybody on the panel hear that, or is it just me that didn't hear either of those?
No, they sound eerily similar. They sound eerily similar, at least in what we just saw.
My understanding of the setup is there's a chance that the viewers actually heard it, but we didn't hear it.
Good.
No?
No. We're getting 0 out of 10 bad acting. So I think they heard it and they could tell that we did not. I don't. Oh, where's
in my
Okay.
imagination?
No.
It
We
went
got nothing.
Mhm.
We bungled it completely.
Xbox, and then the PlayStation 5
Right.
went PS5. So
Right, it's
that's
very
what I
good.
think
It's
it
very
was.
good. So let me just explain a little something to you. Sometimes during live productions, things just go a little haywire, and that's fine. It's not that big a deal. We can only imagine how sweet those sounds must have been, and hopefully we all did our homework and listened to those sounds before we got on the show. So does anybody have a favorite that they would like to pick from these sounds?
I did have a favorite. I prefer the Xbox one, and yet that is not saying that's the system I prefer or would buy first.
Okay.
But for sounds, I like that a lot. It's probably second only to GameCube for me because I liked how it connected to what it was doing. Blink, 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 blink. Yeah, that was a really good one.
I was going to ask everybody about their favorite startup sound. So I like the GameCube sound quite a bit. I'm also a fan of the PlayStation 5 startup. I think maybe it's just my PlayStation bias. I've always been a PlayStation guy. I think that the Xbox Series X looks very cool, but for some reason, the PlayStation sound just connected with me more so this time around. Akeem, what did you think?
Well, I'm going to say right now, nothing beats Dreamcast and that startup sound. I'm just going to say that right now. But
that's my guy. That's my guy right there. I love the Dreamcast.
100%. Now, I've said this before. I'm a Sony boy, so I'm going with Sony. I'm kind of biased. So I'm like anything they do. It could have been a fart sound. I would have picked the PS5's startups. It could have been like a long fart, and I would go, yep, that's the one right there. That's wet. My startup sound. Yeah. Ew, gross. No, not a wet one.
That's an interesting.
Too far.
That's an interesting.
That was the line. You found the line.
Yeah.
you crossed it, Seth.
Seth,
yes.
Where are you weighing in here? Just tell me what you preferred between the Xbox and the PS5 startups, and then you go ahead and give me your favorite startup sound. You're go ahead.
No, I'm a what? What do you got?
I was gonna say that you're an old man, so you probably like a very old startup sound. So there's probably like an old,
I like the Atari
sound.
Yes, I love
yeah.
The old Fairchild. I love the sound of clicking that RF selector over.
There you go.
Have you ever heard a loom clacking?
Just cha-chunk, cha-chunk. Yeah, Seth's favorite home
love the
console.
sound of jacks.
What's your choice here, Seth?
I'm just gonna go with the Xbox Series X because I just like Xbox Series X. So there it is.
Okay.
But all time, it's a three-way tie. GameCube, obviously. Yeah. PlayStation 1, which I think is the best of all the PlayStation startup sounds, and Windows 95, baby. Oh, excuse me, Windows XP.
Okay, wow. Windows 95. Okay. Right on, man. Well, you guys, what an interesting segment that was, huh? I feel like we really...
I dug it.
It's been a trip, dude.
I feel like we were really in for a stern talking to after this. But don't worry, that's okay, because coming up real soon, EA Play is right around the corner where I'm sure we'll see one or two games from a little publisher known as Electronic Arts. I mean, that's almost a given that the name of the stream is EA Play. Followed by a very special live next-gen console watch featuring Ryan the Mac McCaffrey, Junesbury Dornsboggle, who I think is Jonathan Dornbush, and my personal favorite and great personal friend, Dayman from the Field of Hats. That's right, Damon Hatfield, IGN's very own. I know you're all super excited for it because I'm such a great spokesperson. Whoever wrote this script, we're gonna have words after this. I'm such a great spokesperson, so we'll try to wrap it up real quick and share with you one last bit of awesome. This interview with Chris Avallone, developer of Knights of the Old Republic 2, Fallout New Vegas, and the original Baldur's Gate, among many others, is part of the Icons Month here at IGN. Check out this interview with him and stick around for more news games and more. No more news games and more. We're actually done after this and we're off tomorrow. What a show we've had. Take it away from the package. We'll catch you guys later. Enjoy EA Play. I'll probably never host this show again. Bye, everyone.
IGN, where we're profiling iconic video game industry figures, characters, series, and themes. Today we're talking to Chris Avallone, writer on a massive number of classic role-playing games like Baldur's Gate, Fallout New Vegas, and Star Wars Knights of the Old Republic, about what exactly makes for a great RPG experience and what to expect from the next generation of role-playing games.
I really do enjoy party-based games where the parties, obviously a lot of effort was spent into the interactions of the relationships of those characters, how my presence affects that or changes that, because then you feel like an agent of change, which is good. Generally, you also want to include some sort of progression system, and not just systemically, but also narratively, and also tied in exploration too. Where obviously you want the player to change over time. You want the companions to change over time, as well as just the systemic way of like, hey, my stats are increasing, my levels are increasing, some sense of getting better in some sense, or improving your relationship with the world. It doesn't always necessarily have to be combat in an RPG, as long as there's some sort of challenge mechanic that you're dealing with in the gameplay loop, or some sort of conflict, whether, it's a quote-unquote dialogue combat system or whatever it happens to be. As long as that's present as a challenge to the player, that can take the place of like more raw combat elements. And ideally what you want to do is take all those pillars and find a way to sort of weave them together, because I think a lot of video game narratives can suffer tremendously when it's apparent that the systems and the gameplay loop are not connected to the narrative and vice versa, and there was no attempt to do so. I think that it robs a game story of a lot of the potential that it could have, and arguably what a game story should have. So sometimes I work with people that get obsessed with having a twist in the story. Like they're just like, where's the twist? Where do we surprise the player? Oh my God. And I'm like, I'm sick of twists. I'm like, if you have to force a twist, just don't do it. But when they also provide a very long story structure, where they're like, and we want a twist, we can't figure out a way to make this happen. I'm like, why don't you take your long story, cut a few parts out of it, and move the information delivery in a different way, and sometimes that will make your twist without you realizing it. Rather than you trying to add something additional onto your very long story, instead, why don't you chop it up, remove bits, and then change the order of information. And you might actually have some surprising twists in there that you didn't realize because you already know the whole story, but the player doesn't. So think of it from the player's perspective. Working within another franchise suddenly will open your mind to new ways of implementing the classic RPG pillars. Like working on a Fallout RPG versus Baldur's Gate suddenly suggests different, or Planescape suddenly suggests different mechanics or trappings for those classic RPG pillars. And so working on that range of stuff, I think ended up being a really good learning experience for like, oh, well, here's what each unique franchise brings to these mechanics. And also, if you make your own franchise, your own world, it's also stuff to be conscious of in terms of like how those things can be friendly to the player agency experience, player development experience, and how to involve the player in interesting ways. Can you craft worlds that are specially tailored to make sure that allows for that freedom of expression? And so that was a good thing to learn over the years. With the new generation, I guess what I kind of get excited about is that in the old days, we would hesitate before saying things like, oh, we can't burn down that town. Or like, we can't erect a town here. We can't have a new settlement form up from all the people you help, because that's going to cause too much disruptions in the terrain, and we can't switch out huge swaths of territory like that, and we can't mix and match. But now suddenly that question is a little bit more of a question where you're like, well, we could do that, and here's how we could do it, but the hardware is allowing us to do it. So I think it's going to allow for some more dramatic visual changes in the environment, which I think are great, because that's one of the easiest ways to show the impact of your actions, as long as it doesn't feel scripted. Like we're like, oh, I know that happened only because I did this, and there was another way to do it that wouldn't have caused this, but I'm seeing the effects in the world. And I think the new generation of hardware will allow us more opportunities like that, and I'm kind of excited about that.
News, Games, and More is presented by New World.
News, Games, and More is IGN's live news show every day of the week that covers all the day's news about games, movies, comics, and of course more. This is our daily live show that takes a rotating cast of IGN talent, going over all the latest news of the day while taking live questions and comments from chat. We're live every Monday through Friday at 4 p.m. Pacific, 7 p.m. Eastern, and you can find us on mixer.com/IGN, youtube.com/IGN, and twitch.tv/IGN. See you there.
If you're not following IGN on social media, what are you waiting for? We're constantly updating our feeds to bring you the latest news, gameplay, custom original content, the best user-generated videos and art, memes, and a whole lot more. Be part of the conversation throughout the year. Follow IGN on Instagram, Twitter, Facebook, TikTok, and Snapchat.
Everybody loves watching a speedrun of their favorite game. But what if you got the opportunity to peek into the minds of the developers while they watch their games getting completely wrecked? That's exactly what happens in every episode of Game Devs React to speedruns.
You can do that. Oh my god!
We invite you to ride along with the developers as they react to, question, and enjoy some of the most skilled players exploiting and speeding through a game it took years of their life to create. Join us every Saturday for a new episode.
The next generation of video gaming is on the horizon, and IGN is here to bring you the latest PlayStation 5 and Xbox Series X news and analysis in our new weekly show, Next Gen Console Watch 2020. We'll bring on the experts to discuss and analyze all the latest developments around these new consoles. From frame rates, services, features, peripherals, and even all the new tech jargon, Next Gen Console Watch 2020 will keep you up to speed on everything leading up to the next generation of gaming. Join us every Friday for a new episode.
If it's in the game, it's in the game. You guessed it, it's EA O'Clock here at IGN's Summer of Gaming, a season-long celebration of the freshest and bestest in gaming and next-gen.
Oh, we got tagged again, he's hurt!
Last year, EA came ziplining out of nowhere into the Battle Royale scene with Apex Legends, and gave us an unforgettable single-player Star Wars adventure with Jedi Fallen Order. What do they have in store for 2020 and beyond? Today, we'll get our annual updates to Madden and FIFA, and hopefully some answers to questions like, what's happening next in everyone's favorite galaxy far, far away? How can Respawn shake things up in Apex Legends Season 6? What the heck is BioWare doing about Anthem? And most importantly, what does EA have in store for the next generation of console gaming? Luckily, you don't have to wait long. Prepare yourself because IGN's Summer of Gaming kicks off right now.
What's up, everyone? It is indeed EA O'Clock, and I am Sydney Goodman. I'm here with Ryan McCaffrey, Stella Chung, and Max Scoville. We are getting ready for the EA Play event coming up in just a little bit. So I thought, why don't we just dive in and look back at the year that they've had? Ryan, why don't you start? How do you think EA did in 2019?
Well, largely thanks to Respawn, it was probably EA's best year as far as delivering great games in quite a while. Just Respawn alone was Apex Legends early in the year, which of course took off, was huge, great game. And then they capped the year with Star Wars Jedi Fallen Order. So just right there, two great games to start and finish the year with. But Madden was good last year. FIFA has been good for a while. They knocked that out. Need for Speed Heat, which used to be an annual thing, but they've kind of dialed it back and they're just doing it whenever it's ready, like every 2-3 years. Need for Speed Heat was good this year. Last year, I guess I should say. Plants vs. Zombies Battle for Neighborville snuck out quietly, pretty good in the fall. And I mean, maybe good for EA shareholders, maybe not as happy news for gamers. EA re-upped their deal with the NFL for exclusivity on NFL sim games, so Madden will continue to be the only simulation NFL football experience that you've got out there. So just to start there, it was a pretty good year, I think, if you're looking for good stuff out of EA.
Yeah, I mean, I have to agree. Stella, now you are kind of our resident Apex Legends expert. Can you catch us up on what has been going on in the last year?
Sure. So Revenant and Loba got introduced, who are the two new main characters in Apex Legends, and they have a sort of background rivalry because Revenant is the one who actually killed Loba's parents. So now she's in the games looking for revenge, and it's kind of crazy because Apex actually just recently announced their own PvP or PvE event, which are called quests, and that unlocks this huge other storyline into Apex Legends. So a lot of people are waiting to see where this all goes, what this means for the future of Apex, and what will happen to the Legends. And there have been a lot of secret things happening on the map in Kings Canyon, which was the very first map in Apex. And we're all really excited to see what'll happen. There's a lot still up in the air since this season just started.
Yeah, so it's been a while since I've been super tuned into Apex, to be honest with you, but I was vaguely aware of the lore. Do you find that players are a little bit more invested at this point, or does it feel like it caters to a very small subset of players?
I think a lot more people have actually been getting into the lore. There's been a lot of digging. There's been a lot of, I wonder what this will go. There's been a lot of speculation, and I love seeing all the different lore theories that people have. And I love that the Apex writers actually engage with the fans too about their theories. So I think it's been overall a really engaging experience, and a lot more people have been interested in the game because of the story.
Mm-hmm. So now, Max, what are your thoughts on EA's monster year?
So yeah, as Ryan said, they had a pretty good year. I think that Star Wars Jedi Fallen Order was kind of the first proper entry in a AAA Star Wars game we've gotten kind of since the whole EA merger deal, whatever happened. So I'm excited to see what's in store with Star Wars Squadrons, and I mean whatever happens next there. Something that kind of caught my eye was EA was like really kind of anti not anti-Switch, but they didn't seem too excited about the idea of porting older games on the Switch, and then suddenly we got Burnout remastered on there, which is kind of like, obviously new games are exciting, but I would kind of love to see some classic games either up-resed or ported to newer systems. I know a lot of people have been clamoring for an overhaul of the Mass Effect trilogy. The Dead Space games are great. EA has an awesome back catalog, and it's kind of weird to see other publishers dusting off old classics and giving them a fresh coat of paint, and EA just kind of sitting there, not really participating.
Yes. So, and who knows, maybe we'll hear more about all of that coming soon. Speaking of which, we are dangerously close to we're creeping up, being dangerously close to when the conference starts. So let's rapid fire wish list. I'm going to start with Max. What do you want to see?
Yeah, I'd love to see new Dead Space.
Okay. Stella?
New Star Wars Jedi Fallen Order, maybe DLC. That'd be really nice.
Alrighty, and Ryan?
If in the next 60 minutes I get a look at Titanfall 3, I will be a very, very happy boy.
Yes.
And personally, because I know all of you watching really are wondering what I want to see, it's The Sims 5, or maybe a Respawn new shooter. I will take either. And we have a super quick break, but make sure you stick around, because coming up next, we are going to talk our predictions for the EA Play Live, and then we've got EA Play Live for you. IGN Summer of Gaming is presented by The Last of Us Part 2, available June 19th, rated M for mature. By the Army National Guard, working in our communities throughout the COVID pandemic to deliver food, build hospitals, and more. Go to nationalguard.com/esports for more info. And by Fuser, who will be partying with us all summer long.
I've got some big news. The bank finally came through, and I'm holding the keys to the brand new.
The next generation of video gaming is on the horizon, and IGN is here to bring you the latest PlayStation 5 and Xbox Series X news and analysis in our new weekly show, Next Gen Console Watch 2020. We'll bring on the experts to discuss and analyze all the latest developments around these new consoles. From frame rates, services, features, peripherals, and even all the new tech jargon, Next Gen Console Watch 2020 will keep you up to speed on everything leading up to the next generation of gaming. Join us every Friday for a new episode. Not only is IGN the world's biggest media brand for games and entertainment, but we also have a team of some of the world's biggest fans of your favorite franchises. From breaking news and exclusives, never-before-seen looks at movies and games, to reviews, let's plays, and live streams, IGN brings you all the coverage you need, no matter where you are. IGN, the #1 source for all games and entertainment fans worldwide.
Everybody loves watching a speedrun of their favorite game. But what if you got the opportunity to peek into the minds of the developers while they watch their games getting completely wrecked? That's exactly what happens in every episode of Game Devs React to Speedruns.
Yeah, you can do that. Oh my god!
We invite you to ride along with the developers as they react to, question, and enjoy some of the most skilled players exploiting and speeding through a game it took years of their life to create. Join us every Saturday for a new episode.
Hey there, do you have have opinions on games, movies, TV, or other weird stuff on the internet? You can take part in our new show, Power Ranking, where you can vote on all your favorite things on the internet. Do it now. Do it. Just go. Vote. Go vote.
News, games, and more is IGN's live news show every day of the week that covers all the day's news about games, movies, comics, and of course more. This is our daily live show that takes a rotating cast of IGN talent, going over all the latest news of the day while taking live questions and comments from chat. We're live every Monday through Friday at 4 p.m. Pacific, 7 p.m. Eastern. See you there.
The next generation of video gaming is on the horizon, and IGN is here to bring you the latest PlayStation 5 and Xbox Series X news and analysis in our new weekly show, Next Gen Console Watch 2020. We'll bring on the experts to discuss and analyze all the latest developments around these new consoles. From frame rates, services, features, peripherals, and even all the new tech jargon, Next Gen Console Watch 2020 will keep you up to speed on everything leading up to the next generation of gaming. Join us every Friday for a new episode. Not only is IGN the world's biggest media brand for games and entertainment, but we also have a team of some of the world's biggest fans of your favorite franchises. From breaking news and exclusives, never-before-seen looks at movies and games, to reviews, let's plays, and live streams, IGN brings you all the coverage you need, no matter where you are. Whether you're on IGN.com, the IGN app, YouTube, Facebook, or Snapchat, we've always got you covered. IGN, the #1 source for all games and entertainment fans worldwide.
News, games, and more is IGN's live news show every day of the week that covers all the day's news about games, movies, comics, and of course more. This is our daily live show that takes a rotating cast of IGN talent, going over all the latest news of the day while taking live questions and comments from chat. We're live every Monday through Friday at 4 p.m. Pacific, 7 p.m. Eastern, and you can find us on mixer.com/IGN, youtube.com/IGN, and twitch.tv/IGN. See you there.
If you're not following IGN on social media, what are you waiting for? We're constantly updating our feeds to bring you the latest news, gameplay, custom original content, the best user-generated videos and art, memes, and a whole lot more. Be part of the conversation throughout the year. Follow IGN on Instagram, Twitter, Facebook, TikTok, and Snapchat.
Hey, Sydney, take it away.
I'm on. I'm doing it again. Welcome back. Summer of Gaming is presented by the Army National Guard. So let's check in with our gaming guardsmen and find out what they are looking forward to in today's EA Play Live event.
Hi there. I'm Staff Sergeant Brandon Murray. I'm with the Army National Guard. I serve as a recruiter in Tennessee. I'm so excited about EA Play Live and seeing Star Wars Squadrons. I'm really hoping to see some 5v5 PvP space combat, some folks absolutely getting wrecked. But I'm wondering what cameos we're going to see. Like Wedge Antilles was in the trailer, who else are we going to get to see? I'm looking forward to the single-player story mode following the two pilots, one from the New Republic, one from the Galactic Empire. I'm just hoping that we get to see like some third parties and their ships. I mean, who doesn't want to pilot Firespray or a YT-2000? I mean, I want to. This is the way.
We are back, and remember, you can catch all of IGN's Summer of Gaming coverage wherever you stream IGN or on channel IGN1 on your Samsung TV Plus. EA Play is almost upon us, so let's talk predictions. We talked about what we would love to see, what we hope to see, but what do we realistically think we are going to see? I'll start with you, Ryan.
Hopefully some actual next-gen gameplay from Madden and FIFA. We got kind of just a tiny little tease of it at the Microsoft thing, so hopefully we'll really see what next-gen football of either variety looks like.
And then what about you, Stella? What are you thinking that we're going to see in regards to Apex and beyond?
With Apex, a lot of people have been asking for crossplay, so we're hoping that's maybe a feature we get to get a sneak peek at today. So we'll see.
Mm-hmm. And then Max, I feel like you're Mr. Star Wars man, but maybe I'm making that up. I don't know. Maybe you're hoping that we are thinking we'll see something else.
Name, yeah.
Mr. Max, Mr. Star Wars man.
I'll be happy to see some Star Wars Squadrons gameplay and get some details on what that actually looks like in action. I would love so much if we got a tease of whatever the next thing is. If it's. I mean, Respawn announced Jedi Fallen Order with like, they just were like, here's the, were they even like, here's the logo, or were they just like, here's the name, and that was it. There was not really a whole lot of. There wasn't a trailer. I'm fine with that though. So.
Yeah, you're fine with kind of the it's coming, but we don't have much to show you. Now, earlier this week, Mass Effect trilogy. I was going to go a different direction, but we're going this direction now. So there is the long rumored Mass Effect trilogy remaster. I mean, these rumors just don't seem to be going away anytime soon. Ryan, do you think that we're actually going to get anything on this?
It was Max touched on it earlier. EA has basically been allergic to remasters, for better and for worse. They have not taken that easy money where they could have, for the most part, with a couple of exceptions. But this is the one that fans actually want, and now we're at the point where we're a generation removed, basically, from Mass Effect. So I really want it to happen now. I'm ready to play Mass Effect 1 in particular again on a modern platform.
Yeah. So do you think that this is up for grabs for anybody? Just our final thoughts. Do you think we will get Dragon Age 4 trailer, a full trailer?
I hope so, but I don't know. They've been quiet for so long.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I don't see it. We barely got anything at that Game Awards teaser. That game seems like it's still a pretty far ways out.
Yeah, well, maybe we don't have to wait too long. I mean, the countdown timer is running out. So it is time for the moment we have all been waiting for, EA Play Live. Let's go to the stream, but be sure to stick around afterwards for our expert analysis and breakdown of all of the news and announcements.
Hello and welcome everyone to EA Play 2020. We're happy that you're joining us today. Over the next 45 minutes or so, we've got so much for you, including creative, innovative, and really fun new games, and a lot of news to share. But before we get into the show, I'd like to take just a minute here. I want to extend a heartfelt thank you to first responders, medical staff, and essential personnel. This has certainly been a challenging year. From natural disasters like the bushfires in my home country to the devastating COVID-19 pandemic, these brave heroes are working to keep us safe and healthy at every turn. I also want to thank our teams for their amazing dedication while working from home. What you've been able to achieve is nothing short of inspirational. We are also deeply thankful to all of you, our players. Even when we've had to stay physically apart, billions of you are using games to come together, to play, and do amazing things for each other. You've shown why this is truly the greatest form of entertainment on the planet. This is also a critical time for the movement to end racism and racial injustice in this world. Black lives matter, and there is much to be done to drive real and meaningful change. A couple of weeks ago, we shared some actions that Electronic Arts is taking. We will not rest on this. It's a long-term commitment. We're here for players of every color, background, religion, and personal preference. We will continue to build strong representation in our games, and we are focused on making our communities fun, inclusive, and positive places to play. We also have real work to do to bring greater diversity into our company. and we are committed to doing that work. Today we're here because of the power of games. Games bring us together. They can make our lives better, they can teach us, they can provide escape and self-expression. And most of all, games can be fun. All of us at Electronic Arts believe in that, and it's why we're excited to get up every morning to make great experiences for all of you. So thanks for being here with us. And now, let's get into some games.
What's up, everybody? I'm Greg Miller, and welcome to EA Play. We had an incredible show in LA planned for you. Huge stage, massive setup, these giant monitors. I was gonna fly in on an X-Wing. I was gonna land the X-Wing on stage. I was gonna set off a bunch of fireworks. Then what? T-shirt cannon, bam, shooting out game consoles. Then Carol Baskin, some tigers. That last part was all me. Then, because of circumstances beyond our control, we had to come up with something a little different. Instead of LA, I'm in my hometown of San Francisco, but we still have the Tigers. What's that, Jane? No Tigers. So you lied. Oh, all right. I'm being told there are no Tigers, but whatever. We're still gonna bring you the EA Play you know and love. Huge surprises, big announcements, incredible reveals, and never before seen gameplay. Coming up over the next hour, we've got game reveals galore, world premiere trailers of new titles, some old favorites making a comeback, a look at a new way Star Wars fans can live out their greatest fantasies this year, plus a sneak peek at the future. Oh, and pay close attention because today you could win one of thousands of Steam codes for more than a dozen great EA games on Steam. Throughout the show, keep an eye out for discreetly placed golden letters. Write them down as they appear, and at the end of the show, we'll tell you where you can enter that secret code for a chance to win free games on Steam. So don't go anywhere. Who am I kidding? None of us can leave our houses. But enough talking. Let's see some games. Up first, we're headed to the Outlands. That's right, it's Apex Legends time.
Anyone want to take me out?
You should smile more.
Hey Apex fans, the battle just keeps getting bigger. Thanks to you, Apex Legends is coming off its most successful, most epic season yet, and we're just getting started. Season 4 saw more of you jumping into the fight than ever before, and you've kept that amazing momentum going forward, making Season 5 the biggest and best start to a season ever.
Took out an enemy. Hold on to your holograms.
We hope you've been enjoying Season 5, Fortune's Favor, which has seen the introduction of our latest legend, Loba, a major map change to Kings Canyon, rest in peace, Skulltown, an all-new ranked series, and a ton of quality of life updates. But it's about to get even better. Today, I'm here to tell you about what's coming next to Season 5 with our latest collection event, Lost Treasures. Take a look.
I might bury you here. No one will ever know. You'll just be gone.
Adventurers, raiders, explorers, they risk everything in search of fame, fortune, and answers. Few find what they're looking for. But if they survive, they might walk away with lost treasures.
I'll high-five you all when I see you.
My sinuses are firing again. Check yourself or wreck yourself.
Hey, thanks. I owe you one.
Guns? Who needs guns? I don't need guns.
I know what I'm looking for. I won't walk away without it. 너를 찾을 거야.
T, it's me. Be careful. He's watching you.
As you just saw, the Lost Treasures collection event brings with it a ton of great content, including a new limited time mode, Armed and Dangerous Evolved. It's the return of a fan favorite, snipers and shotties only, but with a twist.
Sending out my decoy.
All armor is Evo armor, and we're removing all of the respawn beacons across the entire map. Don't worry though, you'll still be able to bring back your teammates with the help of a new item, the mobile respawn beacon. You'll have one of these in your inventory at the start of each match, giving you the power to choose when, and more importantly, where you bring your teammates back into the battle. Lost Treasures also introduces a new town takeover, Crypto's Map Room, which gives players a closer look at what motivates this drone-wielding hacker. And of course, the Lost Treasures collection delivers a bunch of exclusive content you can earn by completing challenges, as well as all new event-exclusive cosmetic items and the introduction of your boy Mirage's heirloom, which is fittingly a trophy of himself.
Excited to see you all in the ring. Don't worry, there's plenty of me's to go around.
And the best part is you don't have to wait that long. Lost Treasures drops on Tuesday, June 23rd. And that's not all, Apex fans. The battle is expanding. That's right, this fall we're bringing Apex Legends to Steam. And I know you're hoping, wondering, praying, so before you ask, yeah, crossplay is coming to Apex this fall. It's been one of the biggest requests we get, and we're thrilled to finally deliver it to our fans. What am I forgetting? Oh yeah, one last thing, let's make it official. We're huge fans of Nintendo here at Respawn, and we are incredibly excited to be bringing Apex Legends to the Switch this fall. And we'll share more details in the months ahead. So that means you'll be able to squad up no matter where you and your friends prefer to play, Xbox, PlayStation, Switch, or on the PC via Origin and Steam. We're throwing out a lifeline and healing the divide between the platforms. On behalf of the entire Apex team, we want to thank our incredible community. Your passion for the game is truly inspiring. We look forward to seeing you all in the arena. And don't forget, check out Lost Treasures on June 23rd.
Woo! Oh man, that was amazing. I think I'm hyperbolic. I think I'm hyperman. I've had a really good time here.
Sul, everyone. One thing I admire about Apex Legends is its commitment to having such a diverse range of characters. At The Sims, we've always believed representation and diversity in games is critically important, perhaps now more than ever. It's difficult to put into words just how meaningful it can be to see yourself reflected in the games you play. So, here to tell you in their own words are a few members of our Sims community.
It's a very interesting thing to explain.
It feels empowering, actually, and very moving.
It really taught me a lot. The importance of just like keeping relationships good with people.
It's probably like the only place where I was open.
They get to see my personality first before seeing my disability, I guess you could say.
I found myself to be the only black child in my school. I was discriminated, I was bullied. My skin tone, my height, and my teeth.
First realized that I was trans, and I was like praying to God to undo it. I have this world where I can express myself and be myself.
Where I come from, who I am, the color of my skin, you know, who I'm attracted to, let any of that get in the way. It was no barriers.
No matter where I was or what I was going through, I had my safe place.
This is plausible. This is a future you can have.
It was almost like I was peeking into the future, and I didn't know it at the time, but it gave me hope.
It gave me a sense of hope that I could build a life that looked like that.
The Sims is almost like a utopia of what I hope our world eventually becomes.
As I got more comfortable with my character in the game, I got more comfortable with myself.
I play to build me.
I play to express myself.
I play to make a difference.
I play to feel good about myself.
I play to have confidence.
Have fun.
To have me time.
Fuel my creativity.
It's more than just a game. It's creating your life.
As you just saw, there are so many reasons why I am proud to be part of the Sims global community. We want the Sims to be a place of unity and hope, A place where you can be your authentic self and build your vision for our shared world. A place to imagine what's possible. To our Simmers, thank you for everything you've done to make your communities, virtual and real, a better place. Now, I know some of you tuned in hoping for some Sims news, and we'll have plenty to share as the summer goes on, but we do have one announcement for you. We'll be welcoming players on a whole new platform as The Sims 4 arrives on Steam today. Take a look.
Some creatures on the planet, some footprints on the moon, every particle connected, every universe in blue.
Hey everyone, Alex here from the social team, and joining me today from our community team is Freeman.
Hey folks, yes, we're here to tell you that it's not just The Sims 4 arriving on Steam today. 5 more great EA games, including Titanfall 2, A Way Out, and Dead Space 3, are all playable right this second.
And when EA Access arrives on Steam this fall, you can get all those great titles and a ton more with your membership.
You can also expect to see our new releases on Steam too. One of the first arrived just a short while ago with full mod support via Steamworks.
The critics love it, and we know you will too. This is Command & Conquer Remastered.
Welcome back, Commander.
And Steam isn't the only platform getting some love. We'll be bringing games to more platforms than ever.
You can expect 7 new games coming to Switch in the next 12 months, including Burnout Paradise coming tomorrow and Apex Legends later this year. And we're bringing crossplay to many of your favorite games too, starting with Need for Speed Heat and continuing with some new titles being revealed later in the show.
It's all about giving you the freedom to play what you want, where you want, and with who you want. It's about playing together.
Absolutely. Now, let's reveal some more games. Over to you, Greg.
Quick reminder to keep an eye out for those special golden letters hidden throughout the show. They could appear anywhere, and I mean anywhere, so keep your eyes open. Write the letters down as they appear, and once you've got the full code, you'll be able to enter for a chance to win one of more than a dozen great games on Steam. So stay tuned and find out where to enter the code at the end of the show. Now, if you follow my content at all, then you know there's nothing I love more than buffalo wings and discovering inventive new games. Well, I don't have any buffalo wings, but I do have something just as tasty. Over the past couple of years, EA has partnered with the amazing studios like Haze Light and Zoink to give us such creative titles as A Way Out and Faye. Here to explain how they do it are a few of the talented developers working on the next wave of EA originals.
Sometimes you just have this great idea of a game, but it can be really hard to do it on your own.
We wanted space for our studio's creativity to flow free, so that we could try unconventional approaches to solving new ideas.
There are times where you've got to break past your own sort of mental blocks, even if that meant building a whole new kind of game engine.
We get to do the game we want to do. Nothing, and I mean nothing, comes into the game if it doesn't follow the vision.
we can really push our ideas further and bigger than we first imagined.
Let's find that magic.
And now for a deeper dive into what these developers are working on, we turn our spotlight on 3 studios. Up first is Hazelight and their mild-mannered, quiet leader, Joseph Ferris.
Let's do it.
Please welcome Joseph Ferris.
There are like passionate people, there are crazy people, and there is me. Okay, can you swear here? Can you swear? Okay. The Oscars, you know? The Oscars! Huge! No apologies there. Yeah, I know I'm cocky. I can't help it, man. I was born in Beirut, 1977. I lived there 10 years. There was civil war, and there was a lot of bad stuff happening there. We tried to move 5 times to Sweden. The 5th time they let us in. And that's lucky for Sweden, because I've given Sweden a lot, you know. My 3rd movie, Zozo, it's basically about my life when I came to Sweden when I was young. I've done 5 feature movies and now I've done 3 games. And it's way hard to make a game. It's almost like the audience have control of the pacing of the story, while in movies it's being paced for you. In video games, there's so much to be explored from a storytelling perspective because of the interactivity. There are some studios out there that are making games that have good stories, but they pretty much have one mechanic they like reuse all the time. The designers and the story writers are kind of like doing 2 different games. That's why I founded Hazelight, to keep pushing the boundaries of what is possible in games. That's what game number 3 from Hazelight is all about. And action. The new game, It Takes Two, is a co-op action-adventure platformer that will blow your f***ing mind away. The story starts out with a small family. Cody, May, that's the parents, and then Rose, the little daughter. So Cody and May are about to separate. Rose doesn't want them to divorce, so she creates 2 dolls out of wood and clay, and these dolls magically come alive and actually controls both Cody and May. And you could say you're almost controlling their emotions. You're almost playing their emotions. There's even levels where we're actually making a mechanic for their emotions. So again, marrying the story and the mechanics. And I think for the players, that's gonna feel very new, different, and unique. They haven't played anything like this before. It Takes Two is a crazy roller coaster ride that doesn't really have an ending. It has an ending, but that ending is that the roller coaster crashes and you fly into the sky and get up into space, and when you're in space, you're like, what the f*** am I doing up here? And then maybe you get back to Earth again. That's the best way to describe It Takes Two, actually.
Wow, that was the best way to describe it. All right, Joseph, we love you so much. Thank you. Keep it up over there. The Oscars. Of course, ladies and gentlemen, let's keep this originals train rolling, and let's stay in Sweden. Of course, I'm a fan of both their delicious red gummy fish and their video games. So, ladies and gentlemen, please welcome Klaus and Olav from Zoink Games.
Thanks, Greg. Welcome to Gothenburg and, well, my home. Unfortunately, I didn't bring you any Swedish fish, but we do have some exciting news for you about our latest game. At Zoink, we've always been driven by love of rich visual storytelling and creating strange worlds that people can escape to. The weirder, the better, and I think my friend Olav would agree.
Yeah, absolutely. And for our next game though, we wanted to try something a little darker, something out of a gothic fairy tale. What started with a mood and some paintings grew into this eerie, strange world that feels like something out of a beautiful, twisted dream. And that's the world of Random.
Lost in Random is the story of Even, a little girl with a big heart and an even bigger temper. After a horrible event that changes her life, she embarks on a dangerous journey through the world of Random. But fortunately, she's not alone. Just like I have Olav, Even also has a crazy little weird friend thing with her.
Along her journey, Even discovers Dicey, a playful, loyal, almost puppy-like dice companion that gives her the power to really change things in the kingdom of random. Despite the name, in Even's world, randomness is feared, and a dark force controls every aspect of life, from where you live to how you act or what your favorite color is. It's a coming-of-age story set against the backdrop of a mysterious world, but it holds a modern message that's really relevant to our world right now.
I think we can all relate to the desire to try and control the chaos around us. With Dicey's help though, Even learns the power in doing just the opposite. Embrace the randomness, accept the uncertainties in life, and you'll be surprised how far it takes you.
Imagine if you could change the course of life with the roll of a dice. What would you do? Play it safe or trust in yourself and take a chance? We can't wait for you to play and find out.
We're still a long ways from launch, but we hope you will join Even and Dicey on their journey next year. Until then, please enjoy this first look at Lost in Random.
Welcome to Random.
The world of random bends with the roll of one dice. A dice that has ruled this kingdom for generations, transforming the fates of people just like you. But what if I told you there is another dice with the power to change everything? Now, my friend, it's your turn to roll, to play the odds, and break the curse of random.
Well. You can't have the sweet without the sour.
No, Dicey. They should be scared of us. Right?
Really cool. That's a look at Lost in Random, and man, embracing randomness. I feel like I live that every day of my life. Ah! Did you know I was gonna do that? You didn't know that. Dicey's my spirit animal. The game's out next year. But for something that's blasting off a whole lot sooner, take it away, Kevin Franklin.
At Final Strike Games, our team of experienced industry multiplayer franchises. We are passionately focused on making great multiplayer games. That's why I am incredibly excited to announce that we have partnered with the talented team at EA to release our first ever title, Rocket Arena. As you'll see, we stay loyal to the name of the game. It's a rockets-only shooter that allows players to get into the action quickly and stay in the fight. We wanted Rocket Arena to be an awesome, competitive experience to play with friends. I think you're gonna love what we've got in store for you. Here is the all-new trailer of Rocket Arena. Enjoy.
Rockets away!
Let's kick this into gear. The trophy will soon be mine.
Have you ever wondered why life is so good on Crater? Sure, we've got the beautiful beaches.
Cannonball!
Quality public transportation. And exotic destinations.
Another victory!
The people are courteous and friendly.
Jolly good for me.
And always happy to help their fellow citizens.
Are you leaving already?
But the real reason life is so good? We've got rockets.
Let's hit the trail.
I hunger for battle. Talk about razzle dazzle. Never turn your back on the water.
to spare. I'm here to rock it.
I'm having a blast! Full speed ahead!
So as you just saw, rockets are obviously awesome to blast all over the place. But in order to come out on top, there's a lot to master. You'll have a range of rocket-powered abilities to blast opponents out of the arena, and an arsenal of evasive moves. Rocket jump, rocket climb, and dodge to avoid getting knocked out yourself. Don't worry though, you're never out of the action for long. Even when you're out, you'll fly right back into the fray. You'll also be able to really customize your own unique look and playstyle. Each of the 10 heroes available at launch have their own rocket-powered abilities. And as you play, you'll discover items that allow you to further refine each of your heroes' playstyles. Plus, every character has 100 levels of progression that unlock new cosmetics and rewards. All that and much more when Rocket Arena arrives on July 14th. And there's plenty more content to come in our first season, which begins just 2 weeks after launch on July 28th, and brings with it a blast pass and a ton of free content, including new maps, in-game events, and a new playable character. Rocket Arena is a game meant to be played with friends, regardless of platform. That's why we're thrilled to announce cross-play support right from the start. So grab your friends, regardless of their platform, and get ready to blast off with Rocket Arena on July 14th on PlayStation, Xbox, Origin, and Steam. And we'll be sharing more gameplay right after the show with the help of some great content creators. So check us out on YouTube at the link below. See you in the arena.
Wow, that looks great. And hopefully you've all been keeping track of the golden letters hidden throughout the show and nearly cracked the code. Here's a hint. It's not Kanye. Keep an eye out for the last couple of letters, and then at the end of the show, we'll reveal where you need to go to enter the code and a chance to win some great games on Steam. Now, from the future of rocket warfare, we head to a different kind of battle. It's the real reason I didn't get any sleep last night, and if you thought you heard sleigh bells, that's because it might as well be Christmas in June. It's finally time to talk Star Wars Squad. We are going to get a first look at some brand new gameplay in just a moment. But first, for anyone who doesn't fully grasp why I'm so excited, earlier this week, EA and Lucasfilm dropped a trailer that literally gave me all the feels, chills, joy, excitement, and then more chills on top of that. Take a look.
Seize that moment.
When the perfect shot makes history.
5 pilots.
1 squadron.
The galaxy's finest.
Wow. The 8-year-old in all of us is celebrating and excited. The 37-year-old man on this couch is excited. Ladies and gentlemen, for the second year in a row, I have the honor and privilege of helping introduce a new Star Wars title. And here, to put the hype in hyperdrive, is none other than Motive's creative director, Ian Frazier. Hello, Ian.
Hey, Greg, how you doing?
I'm great. How are you?
Doing good. Happy to actually get to show this to people.
I bet. Now, in my copious notes I have on you, I'm told you are quite the Star Wars fan and have been a long time. How long have you liked Star Wars?
I've been a Star Wars fan for pretty much my whole life. I don't even remember the first time I saw the movies. And as a kid, there was a lot of different parts of Star Wars I loved. One of them was being a pilot, that idea of climbing into an X-Wing or a TIE fighter. So, you know, I played all the flight games in the 90s, and I got pretty obsessive about them. I'd pause, meticulously draw the insides of the cockpits and stuff. And actually, I dug up some of those drawings from my parents' attic over the holidays.
We're showing them right now to the world. This strikes me as above and beyond the normal level of Star Wars fandom.
I think at Motive you'll find that quite a few people have that level of Star Wars fandom. When we started this project, I talked to a lot of people as they joined the team, and a lot of them had similar kinds of stories of things they'd done as kids. One of them even built a functional cockpit in his garage.
Wow, that's fandom on another level. How do you guys go from being a fan, drawing what you see in the game, or building a cockpit in your garage, to actually making this game?
Well, I think that fandom, just love of Star Wars, has provided a really good foundation for us. But on top of that, of course, the team at Motive got a lot of experience working with Star Wars when they worked on Battlefront 2. And when Battlefront 2 wrapped up, there was a really small group of us that were really into particularly the pilot experience within Star Wars. And we wanted to make something new, something that really went all in on that part of the fantasy. And so we did kind of a grassroots initiative, or started a little passion project, and that ramped up into eventually what is the game we're going to show you today.
You talk about, your passion for this, your nostalgia for Star Wars flight games of the past. How do you honor that but make something brand new?
It's been interesting. We're trying to kind of pull from that spiritual heritage of many different games in that time period. At the same time, we want to do something that feels fresh and new for fans today. And so what we've tried to look at is sort of the spiritual core of what I think are the best of the Star Wars flight games of the past. And what they did that I love is that they made that part of the universe real. The level of depth and detail that they show in the ships, the way that you control them, is something that I remember fondly from my childhood, and is something that we're trying to do very much with Squadrons. In real life, being a pilot is hard. It takes skill. And that's something that you'll see throughout the game. As you start off playing, it's pretty straightforward, fly around, shoot your lasers. But as you get deeper into it, you start learning how to divert energy from your lasers to your engines, how to shift your shields from the front to the back to cover your butt in a dogfight. Or at the higher levels of skill, you can do really crazy stuff. Like you can boost your engines, fly ahead, cut them off, whip around 180 and shoot a missile off your own tail while drifting backwards. Like real ace pilot stuff. And that's really where we have a lot of fun with the game.
I want to do that. I want to learn how to do that. I understand the nuts and bolts of how to play it. Is there a single player story? Is there a multiplayer mode? What are we getting into?
It's actually some of both. So the game starts with a brand new single player story, takes place a little bit after Return of the Jedi, and it has kind of a unique dual perspective approach to it. So when the game starts, you're going to create two pilots. You create a New Republic pilot and an Imperial pilot, and you're going to alternate between their perspectives mission to mission over the course of the story. You're going to meet a diverse cast of characters along the way, and also a few familiar faces. Now, when you're done with that story and you've played maybe a bit in the practice range, you say, hey, I want to try multiplayer. We want to make it really easy for you to hop online with your friends and play competitive space battles at that point. And so we've done a lot to try to reduce the barriers, to make it as easy as possible for you to play with your friends. And so I'm happy to say we fully support crossplay. You could be on PS4, Xbox One, PC. You could be playing on a traditional display or in VR, which, fun fact, the entire game supports VR from beginning to end, which is pretty cool. But regardless of how you're playing, which platform, they can all play together. Just hook up with your friend, connect, have an awesome space battle.
You just Death Starred my mind, man. That's awesome. That is, the big question, when can people actually play it?
Not too long, actually. Star Wars Squadrons is coming out on October 2nd.
Okay, not too long at all. I was worried about you. I thought you were going to leave me on a teaser there. You didn't. You actually delivered. I appreciate that. The next big ask I have on behalf of everybody watching, I'm sure, who came here for one specific reason, can we see some new gameplay of it? Can we see any gameplay of it?
Absolutely. I kind of figured you might want to. On behalf of everyone at Motive and the team at Lucasfilm, I am very happy to show you the world's first look at gameplay of Star Wars Squadrons. Enjoy.
Second Death Star is gone, but the Imperial fleet is still a threat. Vanguard Squadron, let's make history.
This is it, Titan Squadron. Everything we've done has led to this. Finish those Vanguard scum!
This is Star Wars Squadrons. Earn your wings in a single-player story spanning 2 factions.
All stations! Fire on that ship!
And master multiplayer battles as a squadron of 5. With the option to play the entire game in VR. This is the definitive Star Wars pilot experience.
Come on, come on!
You'll begin your career in a single-player story
Welcome to Titan Squadron.
where you'll play as 2 combat pilots, flying for both the Empire and the New Republic. You'll experience this world through your cockpit. The instrumentation in front of you provides critical feedback about power management, targeting, and shields. With a squadron of diverse characters at your side, prove your skills on increasingly challenging missions.
Hello, Vanguard. Welcome to the Nadiri dockyard.
One of my spies has linked the attacks with the New Republic Starhawk project.
The story of the 2 pilots you play
Stick together.
will shape the balance of power in the galaxy.
Get ready!
Let him have it.
To take the fight online, you'll need flight time with all 8 ships. Fighters are the most flexible and versatile, able to handle any situation. Interceptors are fast and highly maneuverable.
Let's get him.
Ideal for hunting down your opponent's starfighters.
That was kind of fun!
Support ships can keep allies safe and stocked up, as well as disrupting enemy fighters.
Light him up! Nice.
Bombers are the heavy hitters, able to deal devastating damage to enemy flagships and starfighters.
But if you've got a preferred component and need something customized, I'll take care of it.
Unlock everything you need to customize your pilot and starfighters simply by playing the game. From cosmetics to an arsenal of over 50 components that alter how your ships fly, fight, and survive.
They're on you!
I'll deal with it.
You can dramatically change your loadout depending on your squadron's strategy.
Finally got him.
This will be critical in Star Wars Squadron's multiplayer mode. First up, dogfights. This is an all-out 5v5 battle.
This Hard 5, that was the best!
Fine-tune your loadouts to work as a team.
Moving in on the enemy.
Utilize components like tractor beams, turrets, and mines to slow down your opponents or set up your squad mates for the kill.
Rebels unmarked.
For teams looking for an even greater challenge, it's time to prove yourself in Star Wars Squadron's signature mode, Fleet Battles. Fleet Battles are multi-stage conflicts. Whether playing solo or with friends, you'll have the option to compete against other players or AI as a squadron of 5.
Don't worry, I got him for you.
Meet your team in the social hub to solidify strategy, coordinate loadouts, and prepare for takeoff. First, push the front line by winning the dogfight in the center of the map. Next, attack or defend 2 medium-sized capital ships.
We've lost our capital ships.
And finally, the ultimate goal. Target and destroy the subsystems of your opponent's massive flagship and take it down.
Shields are disabled.
At each phase, your squadron either pushes the line forward or falls back to defend.
Keep our flagship safe.
It's your squadron's choice of how to play.
I'm hit!
Speedy, unrelenting assaults.
Stay together, strike quickly.
Stealth and subversion.
Jamming the enemy. Sensors can't spot you.
Or brutal bombardment.
That ship is vulnerable. Take your shot.
We need to hurry.
A unified squadron is the key to victory.
Making my attack run now.
Let's make this count.
This is Star Wars Squadrons. Join the galaxy's finest and make your mark.
You are the hope of this galaxy.
What's up, everyone?
It's your boy Lamar Jackson. I'm excited to be a part of the EA Sports family and to be you guys' new man cover athlete. I can't wait to show you guys what we have in store for you this season. This is EA Sports, next level.
You feel it all.
When you feel that burst of speed,
it's like I'm lightning. In that moment, I'm untouchable.
When I play, I'm not afraid of anything.
Not afraid to hit or get hit.
This game is my one true love. Makes me feel like somebody. I never thought I could rise to another way.
It's just me and the keeper.
My heart is like... Score that goal, and you're a hero.
And history carves your name.
You know what it sounds like? 60,000 people
singing your song.
I can't live without that feeling.
It's in your bones.
I feel football in my heart.
Feel it in your hands.
What? Taste it. See the unknown.
Face my fears.
Live to fight again.
I want the real thing. I want that sweat dripping, shin splitting, hair raising.
I want to live in the floodlights.
I want to feel it all. EA Sports. It's in the game.
Now, that's a lot to look forward to, but there's more. Here to tell us about the future of gaming is EA's Chief Studio Officer, Laura Miele.
Thanks, Greg, and thanks, Lamar. Welcome to the EA Sports family. There are great things to come from EA Sports for all of you, and that's just the beginning. As you've seen throughout the show today, our electronic artists are working hard to bring you more of the games that you want to play. Games like Star Wars Squadrons, Apex Legends, and Command & Conquer. These games all exist because of you. Your voices are heard, and we are acting on your feedback. Now, we've talked a lot about all the exciting games you'll be playing this year, but our studios are working even further out, creating new experiences, new stories, new gameplay, all enabled by new console technology. And we're so excited about what's to come, we don't want to wait until next June to share what the teams are working on. Generation shifts are an opportunity to push beyond the boundaries of gaming as we know it today, and this time is no different. Our studios are taking their crazy ambitious ideas and making them real. Criterion is known for how their games feel. From superior physics to nuanced details of gameplay, this team hand curates the moment-to-moment experience. And with the new consoles this year, there will be a seamless immersion which will get you into the race in a matter of seconds. BioWare imagines and creates worlds where you become the hero of your own story. And we're using this next generation of technology to make those fantasy worlds your reality. For every console generation, DICE sets the bar for excellence in audio and visual presentation. We are creating epic battles at a scale and fidelity unlike anything you've experienced before. At Motive, we are working on a highly ambitious and innovative new game that puts the power and creativity in your hands. And it's an experience that would have been impossible without next-gen technology. This is just the beginning of the things we are working on, and there is so much more to come. The future of EA Studios is not just about new technology. It's about you, your voices, your ideas. We want to be where you come to play. We want to make games for everyone. So please keep giving us your feedback, and let's build the future together. On behalf of all of our studios, thank you for joining us today. But before we sign off, there's just one more game we would love to share. Cousin Darren, over to you.
Thank you. So the moment is here. We finally get to say,
we're back. We're doing it. Skate's happening. We're rolling. We've secretly got together. It's the beginning. The skate evolution continues.
We've been waiting years, honestly, to make the right game at the right time with the right idea, and really, really pleased to say that we're here. It is really early, but it takes a little while to find Cuz or wake him up.
Dude, harsh. Still, we've got a long way to go, but we're stoked, and this is just the beginning.
And seriously, we really can't wait to bring you guys in and have you be a part of it with us.
We want to thank you for your passion, your patience, and all the support that you've shown, us to get to this point.
Oh, the comments.
It's amazing. We cannot believe you commented this into existence. Amazing. Skate changed my life. Thank you so much. Skate forever.
Guys, we did it. We brought back skate. Thank you to EA. Thank you to Cuz. Thank you to Darren. Thank you to you. Thank you to me. I can't believe that I'm so happy and my heart rate. Is this what exercise feels like? Ladies and gentlemen, I can't believe it. Before we go, because I love you guys, here are the last letters of the secret code. If you think you've got the complete code, go to player.gg/EA and enter for a chance to win one of thousands of free games sponsored by player.gg. You can find the official rules and everything else over at player.gg/EA. Now, this has been an amazing experience, an amazing opportunity for all of us all over the world to come together and celebrate gaming. Thank you for being part of EA Play. Until next time, I'll see you online, and it's been my pleasure to serve you.
We see it all with wonder. We dream in every color, and we come alive. This is where our dreams begin. We all can see if we just wait.
What's up, everyone? Welcome back to IGN Summer of Gaming. That was quite the showing. I'm Cindy Goodman, and I'm here with Ryan McCaffrey, Stella Chung, and Max Scoville. We've just seen the big EA Play event, so let's start things off with some showstoppers. Skate 4. Let's see, Max, I'll just go down the line. How are you feeling about Skate 4? It's happening.
That's about damn time. But did they show anything? They just were like, we're doing it, right?
Didn't you say that you were okay with them saying, we're doing a thing, and not really showing anything? Because maybe you cursed that for us.
Yeah, I mean, well, it's like I've seen an EA conference before. But yeah, I mean, this is cool. It's nice to be like, hi, yes, we heard you. This thing's on. We're making a skate game. But, they could have written skate on a piece of paper and held it up or something. Like maybe, okay. Skate 4, finally.
I don't know, did they ever even say that it was actually Skate 4? Because I was kind of waiting for them to say it was the mobile
coming
title.
back.
Yeah, that's about it.
If they don't want to scare off people who don't know if they're going to be able to follow the story if they didn't play the first Skate 3 games.
Ryan, how are you feeling about this Skate announcement?
I mean, I hope it's a proper next-gen Skate 4 and not just like a next-gen remake of Skate 1, which I know plenty of people would be happy with that. But yeah, I mean, it's hard to... It's nice to see that they're giving the fans this long-awaited thing. But I don't know. I guess I'm being a typical whiny gamer of wanting more than just two guys talking on an IFB to each other. But all right, Skate. Maybe next year we'll see it.
Yeah, Stella, how are you feeling? I mean, we're coming off of the PS5 reveal event where, they showed the Miles Morales, which didn't end up being Spider-Man 2. I feel like the audience, myself included, kind of filled in that blank. Do you think that this is Skate 4, or do you think it's something else entirely?
I don't know. I feel like it's Skate 4, but I don't want to speak officially. So I hope it's Skate 4. I hope that's what it is. But I don't know. Like the PS5 announcements, I hope they come out with something fast before players start to get disappointed because they expect one thing and then get another.
I wonder if they might have actually just snuck in the title. Like, because they said Skate Forever there at the end. Maybe Skate Forever is the name of the game. We'll find out.
If they don't spell forever with the number 4, people are going to riot. That's not okay.
Yeah.
You gotta have it.
So also near the end of that EA Play conference, they gave us some next-gen teases, which I thought was an interesting way of doing things. Let's start with you, Max. How did you feel about what Criterion's doing?
Look,
BioWare, DICE, any of them?
This is such an EA thing to do, where they show up and they're like, "Hey, it's like if you didn't do your homework and you show up and you're like, I've been working really hard. I got some cool ideas for the paper." It's like, just maybe put it back in the oven. Like, I would assume that one of the largest video game publishers in history would be making games for the next generation of consoles, but showing a bunch of work in progress stuff that doesn't actually amount to like what a game is sort of like, okay, well, I don't know, wake us up when you've got something more substantial to announce. Like, have a little pageantry.
That's fair. That's fair. Stella, how are you feeling about those next-gen teases? Did anything jump out at you?
Not really. It's kind of like what Max said, but also it's like, can we get something in between the Skate 4 announcement that's not really Skate 4, where they're not showing us anything? And can we get something between that and this, where they're showing, hey, future projects, you have no idea what's coming, but this looks pretty. Look at this shiny thing. Can we get something in between? That'd be great.
Yeah, no, I think that's very fair. I think it was definitely an attempt at transparency, but maybe we needed a little bit more. Ryan, how are you feeling about those next-gen teases?
Yeah, I mean, the Battlefield eyeballs, you'll never see that while actually playing the video game. So I'm kind of with Max there. And it is, they always do this to themselves. If you remember, they did this for what became Anthem. They showed like a little teaser. It was Casey Hudson before he left the company and then later came back, of just talking about, our next world. And then like however many years later, it turned into Anthem. So it's just a tough line to walk for them, where they want to get people excited about the next thing, but they don't seem to know quite the best way to do it. I mean, I feel like Sony's better at this than EA is, where they'll show a CG teaser that's got kind of its own cool little arc to it. And here EA just wants, they just show like super awesome next gen models of cars or characters that will never actually translate into the real gameplay experience.
Yeah, like just to add to this, I feel like EA loves to make developer diaries before the games are out and we have anything to really be curious about. And it's awesome that they're trying to humanize the people that work there, but when you're trying to get people excited about the games, maybe show the games and then show the people and be like, these are the people who made the games. Like, but being like, hey, here's the thing we got 3 seconds of whatever Motive's working on, the person jumping around with all the blocks everywhere. Yeah. You couldn't have just maybe polished up a reveal and been like, surprise, here's the thing.
And I guess those couple little BioWare snippets were Dragon Age 4 kinda in some way, which is like, all right, that's a small step in the right direction.
That's an update, right? It's coming to next gen.
It counts.
So we obviously, as we just discussed, didn't get a whole ton of information about their next gen titles, but we did get a decent amount about Star Wars Squadron, including a release date. Max, what jumped out at you?
I mean, a whole lot. First of all, it's really colorful. Like, that's a surprisingly vivid, like, bright and shiny game. I feel like frequently, you think of like what a Star Wars space battle looks like, and it's, aside from the blaster bolts, it's a lot of weathered gray and a lot of the black emptiness of space. But instead, we got these beautiful like neon, cloud formations and just like some crazy backgrounds. A lot of beautiful colored lighting. It's just I don't know. I'm sort of lukewarm on dogfighting games. Like, they've never really grabbed me, but I love Star Wars, so I'll give this a shot. And the fact that the entire game is playable in VR is pretty awesome.
Yeah, I completely agree, and I thought it was really interesting, and please correct me if I misheard this, but that you can actually cross-play or play with other people who are playing on VR if you're playing on flat. Am I getting that right? Making it up?
I believe they did
say
crossplay, so that should count.
Right? Yeah, so that should count. So Stella, I feel you and I are definitely in the same boat in terms of if it shoots, then I'm there for it. How do you feel about flying a ship through space?
I feel like I'm going to be really bad at this game, but I will definitely play it. I don't play a lot of VR games, but I definitely want to borrow a headset just for this because I can't imagine how immersive it feels just being able to fly around like this. Because Jedi Fallen Order, you felt like you were actually in the world of Star Wars, but imagine doing that in VR. Like, you are actually going to be there in the heat of the battle, and I think that's awesome.
Yeah, totally. No, I'm imagining it, and I'm like already getting kind of motion sick. So I'm curious how much I can stomach, but it's definitely a very cool immersive experience. Now, Ryan, those fleet battles, how are you feeling?
Yeah, that seems like the coolest part of the game. I love that it's a 3-stage thing. I mean, that's just going to make it feel like an epic Star Wars space battle if it's done right by Motive. But just to build on what Max and Stella said, I am so happy that this game is in first person because it could have easily been a third-person game where it's just your camera's behind your ship and that's the way the dogfighting goes. But I love the fact that this is first person, not just for the VR aspect, but on any console, because I love seeing all those goofy, like old tech slash sci-fi Star Wars space consoles in these planes. And I'm so happy that this game is in first person. I'm like, this feels like the closest thing we've ever gotten. I mean, I hope this is going to end up true. The closest modern equivalent to X-Wing versus TIE Fighter, which is just a classic, revered PC game from the 90s. So really looking forward to this one.
Mm-hmm. And then Max, so, you know, this is taking place after Return of the Jedi. How are you feeling about that single-player campaign that they outlined?
I'm interested. I mean, obviously, like, the part of Star Wars I like is the weird aliens and, like, the more rough around the edges characters. When you have a lot of people in, like, the same jumpsuit and uniforms, it kind of files off those sharp edges. But the fact that we got to look at, like, a Trandoshan pilot, and Hera from Rebels is in the background. So, like, it seems like they've definitely got some, like, colorful characters in there, too. So.
Mm-hmm. And then, Stella, I just keep drawing parallels to shooters because that's what I'm born to do. But obviously, there's lots of multiplayer. You play a lot of Apex. How did you feel about the multiplayer components that they were talking about?
I think it'll be interesting. I think this isn't what I'm used to in a shooter, so this will take some getting used to. But I think a lot of people wanted this sort of gameplay, especially after Battlefront, the first one dropped, and a lot of people got to play in the fighters. So I don't know. I think it'll be good. It'll be unique for sure, especially since it's first person. But I think it'll still be really cool.
Yeah, I completely agree. I feel like unique multiplayer experiences is always something I'm down for. But we're going to have to take a super, super quick break. And when we come back, we're going to talk about the games that stood out the most for us. So stick around. We'll be right back. IGN Summer of Gaming is presented by The Last of Us Part 2. Available June 19th. Rated M for mature.